Alright, look, I think the Sens are a good team. They didn't play all that great in Game 1, but in this one, they really settled in the last 40 minutes, and already being down 1-0 in this series, you could see the desperation in their players to try and get the split. I thought they played a hell of a game. The difference, I think Toronto is just a step ahead of them, and that's to be expected. Toronto's been in this situation for the past 9 years. Not to beat a dead horse here with this joke, but they have played a lot of round ones, and this year, as opposed to years previous, they look better than they've ever been. With the acquisitions of Tanev, and then more recently Carlo at the deadline, the defense looks solid. They have a very underrated goalie in Anthony Stolarz. It adds a completely different dynamic to the team, as opposed to relying on a guy like Campbell or Samsonov to guard the crease. Not to mention the breakout of Matthew Knies, who's still on an ELC contract, by the way. This, all tied under Craig Berube's system, has them playing a really disciplined game. If they're going to win, I think this is their year. I'd be very surprised if they lose this series, but I'm definitely not going to count the Sens out. They were one shot away from tying the series up in this one, and let's be honest here, the Leafs are not that reliable when it comes to closing out a series, so I'm excited to see how it goes. Let's talk about Game 2, starting off with the first period of play. Leafs started off on the forefront. They had a couple of chances, and then Morgan Rielly gets his second goal of the series to give Toronto the go-ahead early in the game. The Sens tried to respond, but Stolarz was playing well, made some clutch stops, and then Leafs to the power play, and it's John Tavares who gets a fortunate bounce, goes off of a Sens player, and makes it 2-0 for Toronto. But then the second happened, and this is where Ottawa took over. Look at the shots here, 21-10. They were really pressing, and they get rewarded here. It's Tkachuk who goes through the legs off of Carlo's skate and finds its way into the net. 2-1 game. There was some back and forth play after that, but then in the third, final stages of the game, and it's Adam Gaudette who gets a redirection in past Stolarz to tie it up 2-2, and we have ourselves a brand new game as this one is heading to overtime. Before we get to that though, I want to talk about this right here. Stolarz had a number of whacks on this Sens player right here, and it ends up being a 4-on-4. A lot of Sens fans were upset about this, and I gotta say, I agree as well. I think this should have been a power play for Ottawa, but I'd like to hear what you all have to think as well. Moving into the overtime period though, it's the Leafs off the rush early. Max Domi gets on the puck here and makes no mistake to beat Ullmark and win the game for Toronto as they defend home ice successfully as they head into Game 3 up 2-0 in the series. As always, thank you all so much for watching. I'll be covering this series and the Montreal Caps one, so be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future uploads. Playoffs have been great so far. I can't wait to see what else is in store. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out and take care.